Let's bring back ABC's political director Rick Klein along with Galen Druk from ABC's 538 to break this all down for us a little further. Galen, day 4 of vote counting now, and some of these races are just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So what are you watching for?
So when decision desks make projections, they have over a 99% confidence level in those projections. And so we are not at the point yet where decision desks are calling either the Senate races in Nevada or Arizona and a lot of the House races in California, for example. However, it does look to people who are closely watching these vote counts come in, it does look like Mark Kelly will pull it out in Arizona. Again, there are caveats around that. And it looks like it's going to be super, super close in Nevada, but it looks like Catherine Cortez Masto could also pull it out there, also the Democrat. And if that does happen, that means that Democrats will keep control of the Senate, whether or not they win the Georgia runoff. On the House side, it is still very close. But again, it looks, if you're watching the vote tallying closely, like Republicans will take the House. We have to wait to see all of the votes counted in California because there are a lot of competitive districts out there. But if Republicans do take the House, it's going to be with something like 222 seats. A majority is 218. That is so narrow. So in either the Senate or the House, which either party controls it, it's going to be super narrow, which means that neither party is going to be able to sort of appease, I think, the farthest left or the farthest right planks of the party.
Now, Rick, either way, Georgia is headed for a runoff. So how does it affect that runoff, whether or not power over the Senate, control of the Senate, hangs in the balance?
Well, I think the difference is going to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars, if you can believe it, Diane. If the question is the Georgia Senate seat going to determine control of the United States Senate, then you're going to see everybody and his brother spend money there, and it is going to be a crazy barrage of the last 4 weeks. If control of the Senate is not at stake, it's still a huge deal to lock down that seat for 6 years, but I don't think you're going to see nearly the kind of attention and the kind of money that's being spent. I think you'll be a lot of people that are starting to think about the next map. Look, it's a huge deal either in any event. Obviously, a Senate seat and a Senate seat in the South, but I think the Republican Party's relationship with Donald Trump and with Herschel Walker being as fraught as it is, it's not clear to me yet that the entire Republican establishment around the country is going to go all in for that seat unless it means control of the Senate.
Galen, when you look at candidates who had a Trump endorsement, election deniers, how did they fare? Are there any conclusions there you can form? Yeah, so at 538, we have been tracking candidates who denied the legitimacy of the 2020 election since the primaries. And going into Election Day, about 35% of Republican nominees denied the legitimacy of the 2020 election outright, and then another about 10 or 12% cast doubts on it. A lot of those candidates were in the House, and a lot of them were incumbents, and many of them won re-election in very red districts. But we were looking more at competitive districts and candidates who really staked their candidacy on the idea of the election being stolen or their alignment with former President Trump. And what we saw, without any doubt, is that they did not do as well as sort of more moderate, more measured candidates who acknowledged the legitimacy of the 2020 election. I'll point to a couple examples. Currently in Colorado, we're still watching Lauren Boebert's seat. She's a Republican firebrand, to see whether or not she loses. That is a district that leans 15 points more Republican than the nation as a whole. And it's really competitive. I don't think anyone could have imagined that. Another district, Ohio's 9th, where J.R. Majewski, who was, at the rally on January 6th, sort of staked his candidacy on similar arguments, going down in a district that leans 6 points more Republican than the nation. By 13 points, he's losing. So we really did see a rebuke to some of that extremism. All right, Rick Klein, Galen Druk, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.